The Dodgers could be trading Dustin May. Is that the right decision? Also, a potentially mysterious absent for Mookie Betts this Friday in Boston. Also, Brandon Gomes, the Dodgers general manager, opens up about the trade deadline plans, and he says that the 2025 Dodgers could be better than the 2024 Dodgers. Is that true? All that more coming up next on a jam-packed episode of Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Warrior Parade! We got it, Parade! The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series!
Ohtani starts the 50-50 club. Mookie Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you're new to the show, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And if you're a long-time subscriber and you just want to support the show every single day, hit the like button, drop a comment down below. Also join the Dodgers Nation Discord and the Big Lead. That definitely is a way to support us. And go to gearup.la for all latest Dodgers t-shirts in the game. The best gear you're going to find over at gearup.la. Every episode, we got the Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show. I asked you guys over on the X, should the Dodgers trade Dustin May? And right now, 62% say yes, while 38% say no. So we are going to get into that. Some new trade rumors. Mookie Betts. We'll talk some Mookie. Things are getting a little interesting on that front. We got designated Twitter too, the best of Dodgers social media. But first, today's episode of Dodgers Dugout Live is brought to you by our friends over at Factor Meals. Dodgers summer is here. That means more sun, more light, and more time to make trips to the stadium to make summer special. And the #1 thing you don't want to be doing all summer, spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor Meals comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. I would have the energy to host this show if it wasn't being powered by Factor Meals. And with 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. These meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, so you have time for all of your activities throughout the day. My go-to Factor meal lately has been the Parmesan and garlic cream, shredded beef, and smoky barbecue chicken breast. Get started at factormeals.com/Dodgers50off and use code Dodgers50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code Dodgers50off at factormeals.com/Dodgers50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/Dodgers50off. So this is a live stream. That's a reminder. And we got Noel rocking with us as always, producing the show, looking for all of your comments, fire takes, questions for the 7th inning stretch. So be sure to drop those. We'll give out a comment of the show later, but we've got lots of Dodger baseball to get into. So let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So the hottest story in Dodger baseball is that Dustin May appears to be on the trade block. Ken Rosenthal is reporting that the Dodgers are considering shopping Dustin May because they've got starters like Blake Snell and Roki Sasaki coming back, that May could be out of the rotation, and because he's in a walk year, he's on expiring team control, that the team is looking to possibly deal him. And the team is also kind of factoring in, well, yes, we are getting starters back, but do you really want to trade a starting pitcher when you've dealt with so many starting pitcher injuries throughout the last couple of seasons. So I don't think the Dodgers are in a position where they're just running to want to trade Dustin May. I don't think that's the case, that they're saying, oh, let's move Dustin May because he's not good. Let's move Dustin May because he hasn't had success for this team. I don't think that's the case, because the truth is Dustin May has had some really good starts for this team. Dustin May is coming off a appearance where he piggybacked off of Shohei Ohtani. And look, yes, there was traffic. Yes, he gave up some hits and had some walks. Wasn't elite by any stretch, but still 4 2/3 innings, no runs on 5 hits, 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Still decent. Then a couple starts before that, he had that really nice start against the White Sox where he gave up 2 runs in 7 innings, really his best start of the season. Now, as a whole, the numbers aren't fantastic. He's not Cy Young Dustin May or anything like that. A 4.73 ERA and a 1.36 WHIP, but you know this stuff the way it plays. When he is on his game and he's got that filthy movement and he's locating the four-seam fastball and he's using that sweeper, his stuff is nasty. And the ultimate conundrum with Dustin May is, you know what I say, his stuff moves more than a military family, nastier than a gas station bathroom. Yes, it's absolutely filthy. Only issue is, I don't think that I can recall a guy that I've seen have stuff as nasty as Dustin May, but not have any level of consistency from a start-by-start basis. He's in the 18th percentile in expected ERA, 25th percentile in expected batting average. The only thing that he does at an above-average level is his fastball velocity, which is at 94.8 miles per hour. But when it comes to limiting hard contact and barrel percentage and strikeout rate and whiff rate, he's all well below average. So I look at where he's at this stage of his career, and he is going to be a free agent this offseason. There is very minimal chance that he will be back with the Dodgers. So I do think what this ultimately is something that, oh, wait a second, I've been saying this entire year. What have I been calling Dustin May for the 2025 season? He's this year's James Paxton. He is a Pac-Man pitcher that's eating innings in the regular season. And you've needed Dustin May because most of your starting rotation has missed significant time. Blake Snell's made 2 starts. Glasnow looks great since he's returned, but before the last 3 starts, he had only made 5. Clayton Kershaw missed most of the start of the season. Rogi Sasaki's only made 8 starts. Shohei Ohtani's just getting back. You lose Tony Gonsolin. This team needed Dustin May's 99 innings because it helped stabilize the starting rotation and limit the innings from that bullpen. So I've been saying all year that I think that he's going to be this year's James Paxton. But even if guys get healthy, which they certainly are, Blake Snell could be back soon. Shohei Ohtani's ramping up. He could go 4 innings in his next start that comes on Monday against the Reds. Clayton Kershaw's pitched relatively well. Tyler Glasnow looks like an ace. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has pitched like an ace most of this season. There's really not a spot in this starting rotation, if everyone's healthy, where you can make it make sense to have Dustin May as a part of your starting rotation. And even if you look at him as a multi-inning reliever in a piggyback role with someone like Shohei Ohtani, you would much rather have Emmet Sheehan than Dustin May because his stuff just plays up more. And then if you look at the bullpen, are you really going to do that to a guy that's entering free agency? Throw him into an uncertain bullpen role where now he has to enter free agency at age 27, where his agent is trying to sell teams on a guy that basically was phased out of a starting rotation. And if you're a team out there, do you sign Dustin May as a starting pitcher or do you sign Dustin May as a multi-inning reliever? I can tell you what Dustin May wants to be signed as. He views himself as a starting pitcher. David Vassay got aggregated a couple days ago where someone took some audio from his post-game show where Dustin May was taking pictures with his family after his last start. And all Dave Vassay said was that, yeah, he could be traded, right? He wasn't saying that that was his last start or anything that was final. But yeah, I do think there is something to that. I truly do, because it just makes sense. Makes sense for Dustin May. It makes sense for the Dodgers if they truly believe that their rotation is going to stay healthy and that they're going to make some reinforcements, add some reinforcements via the trade market at the deadline. It does make sense. I do, though, think that, man, for a team that has dealt with starting pitcher injuries for the last couple of seasons, it is a risk because you ask yourself, hey, can we really afford to lose this depth? Because what he is an insurance policy. He's the Apple Care, right? He is the insurance policy when you don't want to trade someone in the event that something happens to Glass now. Something happens to Snell and he can't go. May's stuff still is electric. I had someone told me on the team that they would trust Dustin May in game one of a postseason series. That's how much the clubhouse believes in him as a competitor. So we'll see what happens. The truth is, I don't think he has a ton of trade value because he's on expiring. He's going to hit free agency, right? But I do think that it would be a solid to Dustin May. We've seen the Dodgers do this in years past. They did it with Ross Stripling, not apples to apples, but when he was phased out, they're like, okay, you want to go somewhere else, right? You want to get an opportunity to start. And that's what these guys want to do. That's what these guys want to do, right? I mean, you got to, what do they say? If you love something, then let it go. If you love Dustin May, you got to let him go earn his money and get his bag. And that's certainly what it is here. And I don't think he's in line for some massive payday, but let me paint these two scenarios for you and ask you which you would prefer. Would you rather be Dustin May on the Dodgers and the rotation stays mainly healthy and you're not starting games in the postseason and you're possibly making some appearances out of the bullpen, but there's no guarantees about that because that's not a role that you're familiar with outside of 2020. And you go and win the World Series, you get the World Series ring, but you pitch like 8 innings and they're in mop-up duty or things like that, right? Or would you rather be Dustin May, get traded to a team that who knows if they're in playoff contention? Who knows if they are a team that's looking to add him just so they can see him firsthand to see if they might want to offer him a contract? But you can get 8 to 10 starts and you finish the season strong. And then your agent can go out there and say, our guy came back off of Tommy John surgery, flexor tendon repair, and did not miss a start, was able to post. The velocity's still consistent. It's trending in the right direction. And we won $100+ million as a starting pitcher because he's just 27 years old. I don't know about you. World Series are great, but to me, not all World Series titles are created equal. To me, I want to win the World Series, but I want to win the World Series that I'm a big part of. I don't want to win the World Series as a role player or a distant role player when I have a chance to make it back. So if you ask me, what would I rather have? Win the World Series as a uncertain role player, a guy that might have a chance to contribute to this team versus a guy that's going to be traded to a team where he can get a ton of different starts, prove he can be a starter, and then be in a much better spot financially where you could make $100+ million, $50+ million, something in that range. Give me the bag over being a role player on a World Series team. Me personally, I mean, let's be honest. If I was a baseball player, I would probably be like a frontline starter. They would get the World Series and the bag. But I mean, let's just be honest here. Noel, I'm going to pose that question to you because you're a guy that loves to win. You're a guy that I'm sure would want to create those memories of dogpiling on the mound and having that parade and all the Budweiser beer, just the champagne burning your eyes. But then what if you're not a big part of that and you have the option to go to a team where you can have a more prominent role and set yourself up for a bigger payday? But what say you, Mr. Noel?
I would definitely be the superstar on a bad team. You know, I as good as it is to build that legacy and, you know, be a part of something special, I think there's franchises, there's players that never even come close to it. So I'm not knocking that at all, but I would want to be signing the max deals, you know, being like on the billboards, being on the cover when the team is trying to sell season tickets. Every fan has like my jersey, my last name on their back. So I would definitely go that route. I agree with you fully on that. I want to be the superstar on the bad team versus role player on the title dynasty team.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Noel. I mean, like the Dodgers could be selfish in this situation, and I honestly think they really should be. I think the Dodgers should be selfish. I don't think the Dodgers should trade Dustin May. I think they should keep Dustin May because it just takes one pitch, and in the blink of an eye, you lose Tyler Glasnow in a bullpen session, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Blake Snell, all of these guys, and Dustin May is the type of pitcher that actually has postseason level upside. Like, if Bobby Miller's starting in the postseason, you're getting the thank you fans graphic ready, right? If Dustin May's doing it, you're saying, hey, if he's on tonight, we have a chance to win. And the competitive side of that speaks to that as well. So let me know down below in the comment section, do you think the Dodgers should trade Dustin May? I personally think that unless they see a one-for-one big league ready type of player that could be additive to the bench potentially, or if they see a prospect that they want to stash away because you're drafting so down in the MLB draft that you want to develop, so you're trying to stockpile and replenish your farm system in some capacity, kind of what they did a few years ago, trading away Michael Busch, you get Zaire Hope and Jackson Ferris. You're not going to get a Zaire Hope or Jackson Ferris level prospect, but you could get a lottery ticket for Dustin May. But is that really worth it when you have guys that are high injury risk level pitchers? So I'm keeping Dustin May, and I'm saying, you know what? I know you want your bag. I know you do. But hey, there's a chance that you'll pitch for this team, and you're still young, and you can still go and prove teams next year. Hey, who knows? Maybe Dustin May stays with the Dodgers, gets moved to a hybrid bullpen role, and then ends up signing a one-year deal somewhere, proves himself as a starter, and then gets a big bag when he's 28, right? He still has a lot of baseball in front of him. We got a lot of comments down below. Welcome to Dodgers Dugout Live. Back in the studio. I haven't been here since I left for Atlanta. Feels great to be back, rocking with my man Noel, talking Dodgers.
I had a welcome back gift for you. I forgot it in my car. Yeah.
You did.
I won't say what
it is. Go get it. Just go get it right now.
All right. I'll get it during a commercial break. I won't say what it is, but I know you love Hawaiian shirts. That's all I'll say.
Oh, okay. And I have a gift for you too. It's a silver Knew Nothing with a hole in the middle. That's what my grandma would say. No, I got you a Labubu. You know Noel collects Labubus? He's a big Labubu guy.
Yo, did you see the one that Chelsea posted the other day?
I saw. That was pretty cool.
One from the Hood Vince Scully.
That was pretty cool.
Freddie's jersey. That was cool.
I want that mint green one that sold for like $170,000.
Let us know, guys, in the comments. What are you guys' thoughts on Labubus? And would you guys get a Dodger one?
Nah, I don't do Labubus, man. That's silly, man. I already have too many Beanie Babies. But all right, guys, let's get some comments here. I want to hear your thoughts on Dustin May. We have Mr. Classic. That is true, D-Mac. But what's the deadline for? And after the deadline, if we sign leftovers. Blau K, I enjoy seeing that Dustin May is probably on the trade block. Yeah, we know that's from Blau K. Blau K is tough on players, and I respect his opinion, though. Exactly, D-Mac. We got Ishmael Sanchez. Can you imagine Roki and Snell coming back and looking as nasty as Glasnow has since returning? If so, we will steamroll every team in our postseason if our bats don't let us down. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Roki Sasaki threw 39 pitches. The velocity's trending up. You're seeing him use his pitch mix. The mechanics have looked cleaner. We saw last season Yoshinobu Yamamoto making his transition from the NPB to MLB, missed significant time, then came back and looked good in the postseason. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put all my stock in that, but it does feel good to know that things are looking up and it's nothing season ending. Okay, NS 10 quick picks for Dustin May. Come on now. By the way, we are going to unveil our new bruh, and I'm going to give NS a bruh. 10 quick picks for Dustin May. And our new bruh, we talked about this yesterday on the postgame show for the podcast listeners. The bruh was Gavin Lux for so many years. He was the bruh king. But after yesterday, Kike Hernandez double fisting the popsicles, we have our new bruh. Let me know. This is a rough draft. We might tweak a little bit. As Noel pointed out, we're going to do the double popsicle sticks in this one. But here is the first edition of the revamped bruh. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I got to do it again. Run it back. Podcast listeners, we got Kike eating the popsicle stick, eating the popsicle, going ham on this popsicle in the Dodgers dugout. By the way, I was making fun of this yesterday, and everyone in the comments was like, D-Mac, like you're one to talk with the big hot dog glizzy. So yeah, I kind of learned my lesson there.
We should have made the secondary bruh you with the slugger.
With the slugger. That's not a bad idea. That'll be the double bruh. That'll be the double bro. Because sometimes there's guys in this chat, there's people in this chat that definitely qualify and have earned a double bruh. But coming up next, we are talking about Mookie Betts and the season that he's had so far and a potentially mysterious absence in Boston. And also, Dodgers general manager Brandon Gomes, he opened up about the Dodgers trade deadline plans. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. Welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. If you have not yet, if you want more ways to support the channel and support yourself by getting fresh gear, go to www.gearup.la for the best Dodgers merch in the game. This is our newest t-shirt, CK3K, 3,000 strikeouts, King Kirsch. You got the animation designed by yours truly. So if you want to support me, you want to support the show, honestly, get this for yourself because this is just an awesome t-shirt because I can tell you right now, I mean, there's not a lot of absolutes that I like to speak in, but I think that Clayton Kershaw is going to be the last guy that gets 3,000 strikeouts for the Dodgers. So go pick this one up. Go pick the big dog Andy Pages shirt up. Love this shirt. Andy Pages really getting hot again in the second half. Back-to-back games of the home run. And I will say, I don't know if we have that Haesung Kim shirt. Here we go. So if you guys want to know how sick this shirt is, if you guys want to know how fire this shirt is, Haesung Kim and his interpreter, Joe, have come up to me now multiple times saying they want this shirt in black. And we're going to send Haesung Kim a full stack of these things, and he's going to be wearing them hopefully during warm-ups. So I think this is some of Noel's best work. So that's a fire t-shirt right there. So go to www.gearup.la. Hey, and pretty soon we'll be able to say, hey, wear the t-shirts that the players warm up with when Haesung Kim gets his. But okay, here in our second segment, we're going to talk some Mookie Betts. Because after yesterday's game, Dave Roberts, he said that Mookie Betts, that there was a chance that he would not play on Friday, that Mookie Betts could be missing on Friday, and that the Dodgers now shortstop is personally okay, but that there's nothing wrong, but that he could be out on Friday. Here's what Dave Roberts said exactly about Mookie Betts. And it's kind of this thing that for this season where you're kind of just wondering, like, is this something that is lingering just from not having the year that he is used to having? Is there something that we don't know about? But here's what Dave Roberts had to say. He said, quote, "There might be some things going on that he might not be around, that he's got to deal with personally. Everything is okay with him, but yeah, we'll see." So don't want to speculate too much on this, but the truth is this would be potentially a mysterious absence until we get some clarity about why he's out. And you look at the season that Mookie Betts has had, and there's no doubt about it that he's been frustrated this year. There's no doubt about it that Mookie has grinded through this season. And I think at this point, what the Dodgers are hoping for is to use this next couple of months to see if they can get Mookie Betts to a much better place mentally, physically, performance-wise. Can they just get him to a place where when the postseason rolls around, A, they can trust that he can play shortstop at a competent level, and B, if the bat can just be anything close to what it's been throughout most of his career. Because it's one thing to say that Mookie Betts is just having a down season. It's one thing to say that he's going through an extended slump. But the way that these numbers look, it almost feels like Mookie has been space jammed at the plate, where the Monstars came and took his powers and his skills, because this is not the Mookie Betts that's going to be a Hall of Famer one day. This is not the Mookie Betts that the Dodgers signed for 12 years and $365 million. By the way, Mookie Betts is still going to be under contract after this year for 7 more seasons, and the Dodgers will owe him around $200 million. He did defer around $115 million of his contract, but even though that the bill was always going to come for a lot of these players, it feels like the bill is coming way too early for Mookie Betts if this is how he's going to look at the plate. Because right now, I bring my facts to the fight. The numbers, a 238 batting average. That's 123 out of 156 for qualified hitters. The OPS, 679. That's 136 out of 158. Mookie Betts has had a sub 700 OPS for the last 2 months, for June and July. Before that, Mookie Betts, throughout his entire career, only had 5 months where he had a sub 700 OPS. His 91 weighted runs created plus is 132 out of 158. So he's been 9% below league average offensively, when typically he's around 30 to 60 plus % above league average offensively. You look at the WAR, 1.3 F WAR. That's 99 out of 132. 99 out of 132. And a lot of that WAR is coming because he's playing a premium position in shortstop. I mean, I never thought that I would say this, but Mookie Betts, you look at the WAR, I mean, he's basically like Anthony Volpe level. Like he's basically Anthony Volpe level production on both ends, offensively and defensively. And this is a guy that we used to debate, is he in Mike Trout's class? Is he the best player in baseball? It wasn't long ago that we were having these conversations. And I do think that as far as tomorrow goes, it's not going to be something where they're going to hide something. I mean, I think that they'll be forthright if he does have to miss time. And look, like I said, you don't want to speculate, right? I think we kind of forget sometimes. I think we forget that these players are human too. These players have lives that span outside of baseball. And I think it's important to recognize that. I just hope everything is fine with him and his family and everything that he's dealing with. But it makes you wonder if he's going to miss more than just a game, more than just 2 games, because the biggest story in Dodger baseball over the last week was the lineup shuffle. And they end up moving Shohei Ohtani out of leadoff spot. He goes in the 2-hole, where, by the way, before the home run that he hit against the Twins on Monday night, he really had just done nothing, batting leadoff after pitching. So it's good to see that from that standpoint. So he's homered in 5 straight games. He's putting up MVP numbers. Shohei's on pace for 60 games. But has that really helped Mookie Betts? Well, it's a small sample size, but in the 4 games where Mookie's bat leadoff, he's 3 for 17 with a double, hitting 176. So still the strikeouts are low, 2 strikeouts. Did have 2 key walks. The one that set up the 2-run home run for Shohei Ohtani was a key walk. But I think it's going to take more than just Mookie going to leadoff to fix his season. And I know that he has answered the questions this year. To my knowledge, I don't think anyone outside of myself has asked Mookie if playing shortstop has impacted him at the plate. Here's what he told me.
And Mookie, there's just kind of a narrative out there that maybe you playing shortstop impacts you at the plate. Clearly, you had a big day today. Does that impact you in a way, just as far as your preparation goes?
No, I mean, last year I think I was about to win MVP, so yeah. You can't really argue about that. And I was doing way more work last year than now. So no, that's not the case. I mean, you can try and point out and blame it whatever you want to do, but there's no excuses. It's just a matter of me getting it done.
Thanks.
So Mookie says that, and look, I mean, he is right. He was having a really good offensive season while struggling more as a defensive shortstop early on before he did break his hand. But it just kind of makes you wonder how much of the focus has to be put on being a good shortstop every day. And the truth is that Mookie is a competent big league shortstop, but he's not an elite defensive big league shortstop. I mean, depending on which metric you look at, he's slightly above league average to league average as a defensive shortstop. And yes, it's great that he has been able to do that and been really the first player that we've seen in this league that has been a 6-time Gold Glove Award winning right fielder to move into the infield and be able to accomplish something like this where, hey, just doing that and playing the most important defensive position outside of the catcher spot is definitely commendable. There's no doubt about that. But if we're following what the Dodgers are doing, it looks to me like by putting Mookie at leadoff, they're saying, hey, we're kind of just trying to retrace our steps to a point in time where Mookie Betts was Mookie Betts, where he was a fantastic hitter, where he was an elite bat. And if they're going to retrace their steps from Mookie to leadoff, well, maybe you retrace your steps to Mookie to right field or Mookie to second base, because that instantly is going to take some mental toll off of his day-to-day preparation, and you can pour that into the hitting side. Imagine if Mookie Betts is out in right field and it's like riding a bike, right? Even though he doesn't move like he did a couple years ago when he was a Gold Glover, there's no doubt about it that Mookie can be a better right fielder than a better shortstop. And then also, you're not thinking about the wear and tear of the mental side of it, right? I mean, it's like riding a bike for him, or even second base for Mookie Betts. And you got Miguel Rojas, who's really playing out of position at third base. Even though he can play that position, he still can play shortstop at an above average level. Tommy Edman can play shortstop at an above average level. So, look, if Mookie goes on a tear and everything just figures itself out and he's still be able to play shortstop like this, and he's still just that player together, then fine. I'll eat my words. But for me, I'm trying to save Mookie from Mookie. And one thing I've learned about these players just being around them is they can be stubborn to a fault. And that's a big reason why they've gotten to this level. Remember, there's 700 plus big leaguers in the world, right? These guys are a very small portion of society. To get to that, you got to be delusional. And I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. And I just look at where he's been at this season, and you just see the frustration. Here was Mookie Betts a couple of days ago. Just read his body language. Look into his eyes. Just, he's wearing his heart on his sleeve right here, and clearly he does not seem like he's having a good time out there.
There's been a lot of talk, just top of the order, switch up. Did you find that for you it could be a mental kind of relief and not having to overthink some things at the plate, or is it just another day at the ballpark, another position on the field?
It's just another day at the park. Nothing really changed, so doesn't matter.
With looking how these last now few weeks have gone for this group, it's clear the frustration is building. Is there a conversation that you all have amongst each other? What has got to be the key for you all to kind of get back on track?
Just got to play better. I mean, in all facets. I can't speak for everyone. I just know for me, I just got to play better.
So you can hear it in his voice. I mean, very frustrated. He definitely looks lost out there. And he did a recent interview with The Athletic, and he had some really awesome quotes. I highly recommend going out, checking out this piece that was done by Fabian Ardaya in The Athletic, and he had some very telling quotes. He said about his season-long slump, it's very difficult. I haven't figured it out, so obviously it's super difficult. And he did have a positive here where he says that he enjoys the process. I definitely love the process of it. I definitely love the process of trying to figure out who I am, where I'm at, the work. I haven't found it, and it sucks. Going out there every night, going 0 for 4, that part of the day truly sucks. But you see it all day. I'm out here working and hitting. I love it. I love that. It's the best part. So clearly he's putting in more work. Clearly he's putting in more time. And that tells me that if you're putting in more work as a hitter, but you're still trying to maintain as a shortstop with your defensive preparation, that it would not be the worst thing in the world to just make it to where he would only have to focus solely on what he does at the plate as a hitter. I just want what's best for him. I don't like watching interviews of Mookie Betts and thinking I got to reach through my TV or give him a hug, because that's how he's looking right now. This is one of the most joyful players when he's right in the history of Major League Baseball. So to see him like this, it pains me to see this. I'm hoping that you can really find something for him that works and a hitting cue that works. But right now, for Mookie Betts, I think that the fact that you can't point to him striking out more. What you point to is the fact that he's not hitting the ball hard and he's not barreling up baseballs. So it was really interesting to hear what hitting coach Robert Van Scoyoc had to say about Mookie Betts, where during the All-Star break, Betts was at his home in Nashville and he swung a bat with what appeared to be a medicine ball resting between his elbows. The goal was to keep the ball pinned between his elbows as he loaded and finished the swing. So Robert Van Scoyoc is pointing out the fact that, hey, the margins are thinner for him than other players, and they have given him every opportunity to figure this thing out. But this is the longest slump of his career, and I think that I'm a big believer in you don't present a problem without presenting a solution. And I truly believe that the best thing for Mookie Betts, if he continues to stump like this in the leadoff spot, and you want to see a longer sample size, you do, is to just kind of go with what worked and see if you can just find something. And then, hey, who knows? You can move back to shortstop. I mean, this thing, the Dodgers have multiple people that can play shortstop better than Mookie Betts. Like, I got to keep it 100 with you guys, right? Tommy Edman, Miguel Rojas, Alex Freeland, right? I mean, there's multiple people, and it would not be something that would linger and make it seem like he was a failure at that spot. He already is a success. He won it live, right? He won it live. He won it his baseball life, and he proved to everyone that he could play that position. But time is running out on this season. It truly is. And the Dodgers need to think long and hard about what their plan is going to be for the postseason. And I think at some point, you have to kind of stop just letting the superstars kind of always dictate where they're going to be playing and what they're going to be doing. I think you got to have some long and hard conversations at some point for what's best for this team. I mean, you look at the infield defense for as good as Mookie's been. Imagine in the postseason having him have to do that for the first time. I mean, it's just been a tough year. I mean, you lose 20 pounds, and yes, he did gain that back, but how much of that was muscle mass loss? Then you break your foot in your house. You ran into something in the dark. You broke your toe. I mean, it's just been just that kind of year for Mookie Betts. But the often parroted takes, though, are it's the lost weight and it is him playing shortstop. And I think that ultimately it's a combination of everything. Guys getting older, guys used to hitting 30 home runs, 40 doubles a year, not seeing that same level of success. And that is where they're at. But for anyone saying that it's the weight thing, here was Mookie. I asked him about his weight after the illness a couple months ago.
I'm at 165 now, so I need another 7 or 8 pounds will help me a lot, but 10 would be ideal. Just eat all day, and that's pretty much it. My chef, both of them are doing enough cooking. Got guys here. I'm eating during the game, and so we're doing what it takes.
And for you, does it feel like you're kind of all the way back physically after kind of what you dealt with early on in the year?
Yeah. I actually weigh more than when I came in the spring, so I'm definitely good.
So you heard him right there. But like, just because he gains that weight back does not mean that there was not some muscle mass that was lost in that process. And who knows if that took its mental toll. You want to find a good rhythm early on in the season. He just wasn't able to do that. A super chat here, though, from Sneaky Panda, $10. Dodgers been mid because y'all refuse to bless us with the golf fits again. Bring sexy back. Do it for the fans. Do it for me. Okay, you want to see the vest? Do you want to see the patterns? I mean, I got it. I got you. I'll give you a nice little, I'll give you a bruh. Just gonna do that, bro. We got effing your mom 69. First of all, major bruh to the profile name there. Major bruh to the profile name. Everyone needs to get behind Mookie right now and show our support. Yeah, absolutely. As for the Dodgers community, just wrap your arms around Mookie Betts, show him all the love, and hope that, hey, you can get a season going, man. This is a guy that honestly was the big change for this organization as far as someone that was brought in that was a truly elite talent. You paired him with Corey Seager, it led to a World Series in year one. But my solution is I think that you want to give this a run as far as him hitting leadoff and see how he performs over an extended stretch. But Dave Roberts has already said that Max Muncy is ahead of schedule, and he said that he was going to talk about the lineup again when Max Muncy got healthy. So they're going to have to figure out what that means for the lineup when Max Muncy is back and if Mookie stays in the leadoff spot. Because the next hard conversations are going to be this. One, do we move him off leadoff back to the 2-hole, or do we move him off leadoff and out of the top 4? Or 2, do we just run it with him in the leadoff and Shohei batting second for an extended period of time? I think that's most likely what they're going to do, but you want to see a longer sample size of that. And then 3, it's, hey, what are the other factors that could be impacting you? Because the swing just isn't right. I was texting someone with the Dodgers with Mookie about Mookie, and he said, quote, that something is way off with him. So, I mean, we'll learn more in the coming days about why he could be missing Friday. But for this team to win a World Series, you need Mookie Betts to look like he has throughout the vast majority of his career here when he was a perennial MVP candidate. But all right, guys, so coming up next, we are going to hit the 7th inning stretch. We also have a little designated Twitter. We're going to do an extended 7th inning stretch so we can talk to you guys today. But yeah, I see you guys firing off in the comment section, but definitely have those comments ready. We're going to give out a comment of the show. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation Podcast Network, your front row seat to everything Dodgers all season long. Home of the #1 Dodgers podcast in the world, Dodgers Dugout Live, hosted by me, Doug McKain. Friends call me D-Mac, and we cover everything about your boys in blue, everything you need to know about Dodger baseball in less than an hour. We've got breaking news, post-game breakdowns, roster updates, trade rumors, in-depth player analysis, Dodgers trivia, you name it. Whether it's a wild walk-off at the Ravine, a key call-up from OKC, we've got the insight, we got the coverage, and we're here for you all year long. We're the #1 Dodgers site on every platform, and we're born and based in LA. We're loyal to the soil. Dodger baseball is what we do. Trusted by tens of thousands of daily listeners, Dodgers Nation is more than just recaps. We are LA. Whether you're in Echo Park or out in the Valley, Beverly Hills, whatever it is, if you bleed blue, this pod's for you. The more you guys subscribe, the bigger we can build, and we can do this together. So stay up to date with our Dodgers Nation post-game shows and breakdowns and podcasts. You can listen while you're lifting, while you're in traffic, or while pretending to answer work emails. We won't tell. Subscribe now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your baseball fix. So if you're a new listener or a longtime listener to the podcast, write us a review and we'll read it on the show. Join the conversation, stay ahead of the game, and never miss a pitch with the Dodgers Nation Podcast Network. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. Comments going off. Before we hit the 7th inning stretch, though, I want to hit a quick topic about Brandon Gomes, the Dodgers general manager, who discussed the Dodgers trade deadline plan as it stands right now. And he made a bold claim. He said, quote, "If there's pieces here and there that make sense moving forward, we've never been afraid to make trades when we feel it's a need. We'll continue to assess. We'll see what these next 10 days look like. But over the long haul, big picture, 162 games, and what a potential playoff team will look like, this group is really talented, and I would argue it's better than the team that won the World Series last year." So that's a pretty bold claim. He's got that spin is his spin rates on a Seth Lugo level there. And he's absolutely right in the sense that this team on paper, based on the talent that's on this roster, which is a major if in capital letters, and hope is not a strategy when it comes to hoping that guys are going to come back and stay healthy and be healthy, because usually guys that come back from injury aren't as good as they were before the injury. But I have to agree with Brandon Gomes in the sense that, yes, this team has the potential to be better, but that does not mean that this team is trending towards being better than last year's team, because so many of the guys that were having either above their normal seasons, outlier seasons last year, are not this year. You look at the bullpen alone. I mean, you're talking about a bullpen that's logged 452 in 2/3 innings. That is the most in baseball. A 4.43 ERA. That's 24th in baseball. Now, most of those guys in the bullpen, I mean, a vast majority are guys that shouldn't be a part of the postseason bullpen anyway. But I do agree that when you look at the starting rotation, it should be an advantage with Tyler Glasnow, with Blake Snell, right? Those are two guys that could be available in the postseason that weren't on this team last year. Is Blake Snell better than Walker Buehler and Jack Flaherty? The answer is yes, when he's right. Is Tyler Glasnow better than Jack Flaherty and Walker Buehler? Yes. But you can't discount the grit factor, the dog factor, the, hey, it's October and let's ride factor. And we learned that last year's team was a special team. My concern about that take, though, is you're basing that off of, hey, Teoscar Hernandez, right? Are we sure that Teoscar Hernandez is going to get back to 100%, or is he going to be dealing with that groin injury all year? His numbers are down. Tommy Edmonds' numbers are down. Mookie Betts, we've talked about a lot. His numbers are down. Shohei Ohtani playing at an MVP level. Will Smith, honestly, playing at an MVP-ish level. So he's having an up season. We'll see if he can sustain this for the second half and not have that funk like he had last year. And then Max Muncy is really the big X factor for this team. Can Max Muncy come back and perform like he did for almost 2 months where he was the best hitter on this team? But the bullpen is the area of concern. And Dave Roberts said a couple of days ago, he kind of let it slip that they're looking for a bullpen arm, potentially, a guy that can get out right-handed hitters. He said that it was something that they always do if they need to make a move, and I certainly believe that. I am the way that Kirby Yates has pitched, the way that Tanner Scott has pitched, the way that you had injuries to Evan Phillips and Blake Trinan. Blake Trinan, by the way, is pitching tonight. If he successfully goes back-to-back, he could rejoin the team this weekend. But the truth is you need a dominant addition to the bullpen. And we've talked about names like David Bednar and Johan Duran and Emmanuel Clase, Felix Bautista. Yes, the Dodgers have checked in on all of those guys. They absolutely have. They have made it pretty known that they're going to be in the market for an elite reliever. And sure, you don't want to have a Yordan Alvarez situation again, but Josh Fields helped that team that year. You don't want to have a O'Neal Cruz situation again, but they needed Tony Watson at the time. You also look at the flip side. Diego Cartaya plays for the same amount of MLB teams right now as I play for. 0, right? Their former top prospect. So I do truly believe that if this team truly is 100% all in on this team, and that if Brandon Gomes believes what he's saying, then you're going to have to make some significant additions. And yes, I know they do not want to overpay at the deadline, right? They don't want to pay the hotel minibar prices, right? It sucks. You don't want to pay those high prices. But what is the big kicker in all of this is they made a commitment to Shohei Ohtani. And they have a once-in-a-sport level player that is primed and ready to win multiple championships. And I think that some lights-out bullpen pieces are the number one thing that would take this team over the top. I just don't trust Kirby Yates right now, even with the non-competitive splitters. Tanner Scott leads the league in blown saves with 7. Michael Kopech's coming back off knee surgery. Blake Trinan, he pitched so much last year in the postseason, has dealt injuries throughout his career. Do you really trust that? I do when he's right, but 100%, you're crazy. Brusdar Gratterall, same thing. The truth is that the bullpen has been held together by duct tape all season long. And look, you're going to have to overpay to get one of these guys. And even a guy like an Anthony Bender, who we've talked about on this show for the last couple of days, who they're interested in, do you really want to have a guy that is a ground ball pitcher hit to this defense right now? No, you want a dominant level pitcher. So we're going to talk more about that. We've got Bob Nightingale on the show on Monday. We're going to have Buster Olney on the show hopefully tomorrow. So we're going to save some of this trade talk. I'm going to drop my big board tomorrow or Saturday. So be on the lookout for that, guys. We're just getting going. We'll talk some Dalton Rushing too. But let's go to one of my favorite segments of the week, and that is Designated Twitter. It's Thursday, and that is when we hit Designated Twitter. That is the best of Dodgers social media. We got a lot of submissions. We'll get the best one here. Let's see. You want to play that? Here we go. Designated Twitter coming up here on Dodgers Dugout. All right, sweet. Got some comments down below. Are we facing Walker Buehler? Yeah, Dustin May, Walker Buehler. It's been a lot of F-bombs. A lot of people fired up.
Designated Twitter, the best of Dodgers social media.
All right, the first one we've got. This comes from my pal, my friend. Had a lot of good laughs with this dude in Atlanta, Arash Markazi. And it says, this Manhattan Beach car wash marks their lanes with Dodgers players, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, instead of numbers. I love this.
That's fire.
I got to find where that's at. Got to find where that's. Make it a little bigger here. I got to find where that's at, though. That's pretty awesome.
Which one would you take your Lamborghini in, Doug, when you're getting it washed?
I would probably say, man, I would probably take my Porsche through Shohei's. Ooh. You know, my little Porsche through Shohei. It'd be a Matchbox Porsche. Wouldn't be a real Porsche, but I gotta go with the Porsche for him. I've seen Mookie drive a truck. He's a big truck dude. Drives a big old truck for sure. Okay, what else we got? What would you do though?
Oh, I thought you can't go wrong. I would probably just close my eyes or ask one of the workers, just choose a random one for me. I would be happy.
MV3.
MV3, baby.
All right, we got this one. Our friend Doyers Dave. Love this guy's content. Go give him a follow. Man, this is great. He's been doing this for a while. This could be a shirt. It says MILF. MILF. I love MILF. Man, I love Freddie. That's what that stands for, of course. I have no idea what the other version of that would even be. Version? Apparently, that people in the comments are saying, but to me, when I think of MILF, I think of this. Man, I love Freddie. Of course, Freddie Freeman giving the Dodgers their 8th walk-off of the season, walk-off single. I mean, if the aliens came down, they're like, hey, we're going to take over the planet. We're going to blow into smithereens with this laser beam. But you can have one baseball player to get a hit to save planet Earth and humanity. It would be Freddie Freeman. And you saw that on display again yesterday. Freddie Freeman and walk-offs. Name a better duo. Man, I love Freddie. Love that. MILF. Got to get that. All right, here we go.
Wait, real quick, Doug. Someone asked if you can say go Dodgers in a Hulk Hogan voice.
Do I got a Hulk Hogan? Go Dodgers! I don't know. I'll leave that to Kirsch. Here we go. Dodger for life! All right, OptaStats. Intentional walks became an official MLB statistic 70 years ago in 1955. Since then, only one player has been intentionally walked with his team and out away from losing and nobody in scoring position and then come around to score the winning run. Shohei Ohtani. Wow. Shohei Ohtani doing things that no one's ever done. What else is new? He makes the impossible seem normal. By the way, I dropped that little reel I did about him talking about how he complied and didn't have any issue with being moved down the order. Apparently, Noel, in that response, Shohei even said that he'd be willing to move down to the 9th spot if he meant helping this team.
Really?
The ultimate teammate. Great player, great teammate. One of the greatest ever. We've got... Okay.
We'll save this one, actually.
You want to save this one? We can keep going. Okay.
We'll save it for the walk-up.
For the walk-up. Okay. What else we got here? We got... all right, I love this. This is from Cody Bellinger. This is over on Reddit, I think. It says, orange chicken tastes like victory. You've got Dodgers Reddit and Panda Express. I love it, man. I love it. This is a good comment of the show. This is a good comment of the show contender right here. Dodgers designated Twitter comment of the week. So I'm going to give that some love with a little let's go Dodgers. All right, what else we got? We got former Dodger Adrian Gonzalez opens a pizza restaurant in West Los Angeles. Wow, that's pretty good. I'm a big pizza guy. Would love to go and check it out. Maybe we should hit up Adrian Gonzalez and do some for his pizza place. That way we can get him on the show. Looks like some pretty good pizza right there.
Yes. West LA, not too far.
What's your go-to pizza topping, chat? And how about you, Noel?
Definitely pepperoni, and I like jalapenos. I like getting a little spice.
Jalapenos.
How about you, D-Man?
That's honestly pretty much what I get, to be honest with you. A little feta cheese, maybe if you want to go super crazy. What do you think is the best of the domestic pizza places, though? Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars.
The Shakey's count?
Shakey's doesn't really count. No, that's kind of like, I mean,
That's a parlor.
That's almost like round table-ish.
Yeah, I would probably go from those. I'd probably go Domino's. I like their, they have like a deal where you can get multiple pizzas for like pretty good price. And I like the seasoned crust too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely a good call. I feel like Domino's, because you got the Brooklyn style, the extra large, it's foldable. That's definitely good. I think for a nationwide chain, I go Domino's. Go Domino's.
Costco. Costco does not count.
Costco counts. It's kind of in that, it's not in that same tier. I mean, Costco should be on this list. It's not the fastest, not the cheapest. It's consistent though. Yeah. It's pretty consistent. You don't, the issue I have with Costco though, you can't customize.
Yeah.
You can't customize. You can't, I mean, it's like, hey bro,
and they
like,
got rid of combo pizza in LA, I think.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. The multi-topping one.
Interesting. I mean, I think it's the standard. We got our guy, Michael J. Duarte. We all know about Shohei Ohtani's 5 straight games with a homer, tying the Dodgers franchise record. But today was Freddie Freeman's 16th career walk-off hit, and that's the most walk-off hits and RBI of any active player in Major League Baseball. That's a great stat. That's great to know. And first of all, that's got to be the most unsurprising stat that we know. Because, I mean, for one, it's you got to come through in those situations, but also you need to be in those situations. So the fact that he is constantly in those situations, I think that is the mind-boggling thing, that they know what he's capable of, yet he still comes through again and again. But I love that. We got any more?
We have the last one that we're saving for the walk-off.
All right, awesome. All right, so let's get to you guys for the 7th inning stretch.
The walk-off.
Oh, whoops.
The 7th inning stretch.
All right, we got Delirium 9. Are we facing Walker Buehler this weekend? Yes, Butane will be on the mound. And he's definitely going to be, oh, this is hilarious. Yeah, he's definitely, the Dodgers will be facing Walker Buehler this weekend. Let's look at the probables for this weekend series against the Red Sox. And it did look like for a minute that it was going to be potentially Shohei Ohtani, but it's going to be Dustin May facing off against Walker Buehler on Sunday. You got Kershaw going up against Garrett Crochet on Saturday, and then Emmet Sheehan versus Bryant Bello on Friday. So that's the pitching matchups for this weekend. Claudia Levin, if you ask any elite player who's a regular starting shortstop how long it took them to get that good, I highly doubt they'd say 1 year or even 2 or 3 years. That's a really good point. We got Demo Publican on Monday night. They ran out of rings so fast. Ismael Sanchez, Correa was so butthurt after the booze and cheater chants, he was placed on the 15-day IL. That's a nice little comment of the show. Give it a little bro too, though. And Gracie Felix, this team needs to get hungry again, or else they will be losing to the Hungry Brew Crew in the postseason. Paul Pena, I don't trust anyone who puts pineapple on their pizza. That's fair. I'm not the biggest pineapple on pizza guy. Don't hate it. I just don't like how it gets runny onto it. Not my thing. Garrett Lone Lee, these players' interviews frustrate me. They're basically asking Mookie, why are you essing? What's he supposed to say? I mean, it's a part of the gig. I mean, if you guys want to just listen to just generic, boring answers, you're going to get boring questions. I mean, I think that, look, baseball wouldn't be a $10 billion sport if it wasn't for the media and the fans. I mean, that's just the truth. You guys, it's kind of a part of the deal here. But okay, but D-Mac, own up to you almost screaming when Mookie demanded to go to shortstop that he was going to excel at it and he was going to show all the doubters. My original take on Mookie going to shortstop was not, I was one of the only people, if you go, I'll play a clip on the very next episode. I was probably the only person who was against it because I thought that Mookie's biggest contribution could be what he does to his bat. And Miguel Rojas told us on the show that ultimately bleeds into that. But after the decision was made, then I supported it because that's what the Dodgers were doing. But I definitely was not in favor of Mookie going to shortstop in the first place. And I have the video evidence to prove that, and I will get it for the next show. Wadib69, no way D-Mac bites pizza when glizzies are $1.50, $1.50. Dustin May versus Walker Buehler, definitely take the over on runs scored. Come on now. Scott doesn't know. Doug, if you had a walk-up song, what would it be? It would be different from pitcher to batter. I've been asked this question a couple different times. I would go with a Doug theme song from the Nickelodeon show. The do 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 do, or I would go Ambitions as a Rider by Tupac. Johnny Bomb, I need to get some In-N-Out right now. Hey, In-N-Out never doesn't hit. Chris Frostaker, Mookie will have a Freddie Freeman October. I like that. Positive Mookie Betts vibes. That's what we want on the show. Mookie will be fine. Give him a week off if he needs it. Roger Howard. I think that's a interesting take, but here's the thing, though. He already had a week off for the All-Star break. I think he wants to find a rhythm, and you don't want to just do that. Johnny Baum, I want Seager back. Actually, I'm okay with that. I mean, I truly am, just because not having Seager led to the Dodgers getting Freddie Freeman, and they got another number 5 who hit a walk-off grand slam, and Seager has dealt with a lot of injuries himself. But I'll always love Seager's time with the Dodgers. We got Tone Logue, pepperoni, onions, pineapple, Canadian ham. That's your pizza choice. Christian Larson, Mookie is getting older and getting older. Just leave him alone. Put later in the lineup and let you see. Why do much drama? Just take him out of the top spot. Because he has 7 years and $200 million left on his contract, right? The Dodgers aren't a retirement home, right? You want to get the most out of your players. And plus, when he's good, he's really, really good. Delir Nyan, what is up? D-Mac, do you dip your pizza in ranch or anything? Typically, not really. Number 3, D-Mac, what is up? You've consistently said that Mookie's greatest contribution to the team is his bat, which has disappeared. Potentially, that's what it is, especially at this stage of his career, north of 30. His bat has always been better than his glove, even in his best years, because when he was really raking at 39 home runs a couple years ago in 2023, he actually finished with more WAR than Ronald Acuna Jr. And his MVP season with the Red Sox, I mean, you're talking about a guy who was 80% above league average. He was absolutely ridiculous. Will Galiti, D May for Seth Lugo. Are the Royals going to be selling? They could be. Seth Lugo is interesting because he's familiar with that hybrid role. He gives them a different look. I wouldn't necessarily be against that for sure. Absolutely. We've got time and again for all the Roberts lover. Oh, I can't read that one, man. Come on. Jamal Sanchez. Can you imagine Roki and Snell coming back and looking as nasty as Glass now as returning? If we will steamroll every team of the postseason for bats, don't let us down. Yeah, absolutely. Money Magnum, D-Mac, he's got 2 rings. He needs to get his bag. I'm not sure he's regretting his role to having those 2 rings. You're talking about Dustin May. Absolutely. All right, guys, so we're running out of time, so let's get to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
So yesterday, Kike Hernandez, I think he knew what he was doing. I think he was providing some levity, eating these popsicles, double fisting these popsicles. What does the DN tweet say? Kike Hernandez, 2 popsicles in the middle of the Dodgers game versus the Twins today. Got to stay cool somehow. I think this is why Kike is just so beloved by his teammates and the fans, is even during a time where the Dodgers were 1-4 in the homestand at that time, where you had lost 11 of your last 14 games. Kike understands that, hey, part of the reason why I am added to a big league team is I'm funny and I'm hilarious. And you saw that here on display. I like how Tommy Edman comes in. He's like not even noticing. He's totally unfazed. And then now Kike Hernandez is a part of our bro. Look at the double popsicles right there. I mean, why does he need 2? Why not finish one and then go to another one? That's what I would ask Kike. I mean, why the double popsicles in that situation? The popsicles are definitely great on a cold day, but hopefully Kike Hernandez can get back and he can get healthy. He can help this team in October. But just love Kike for doing that and having a good time with it. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button. Special thanks to producer Noel rocking with us as always. And make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're a long-time subscriber, hit that like button and drop a comment down below. Tomorrow, diving full-blown into trade talk. We got our big board, more rumors, who the Dodgers trade for. That will be on tomorrow's episode. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring,